Hey folks, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we have an interesting comparison for you lovely folks. I'm going to be comparing a mid-budget television along with a budget television when it comes to the gaming experience on the Xbox Series S. Now, the two televisions that we're going to be comparing today would be the Samsung AU9070, the one that you see behind me, and also the Nokia 4K television with the Onkyo soundbar. Now, a few quick things that I wanted to clarify before I get this video started. Number one, well, the Samsung AU9070 is actually capable of doing 1080p at 120Hz. But in this video, I am not going to be showing the gaming of 1080p 120Hz. I've made a separate video for that, and I'm going to put up the link somewhere here on screen. So in case you want to take a look at it, you can just click away and take a look at that video. Now, I wanted to make this battle or this comparison fair, and therefore, I'm only going to game at 4K 60Hz on the AU9070 so that it's a fair battle when it comes to comparing it with the Nokia 4K TV, because the Nokia is not capable of doing 120Hz at 1080p. So therefore 4K 60Hz here, 4K 60Hz there. The second thing that I wanted to clarify was the fact that the HDMI cable that I'm using in both these televisions is the same HDMI cable that I got out of the box with the Xbox Series S. It's a high-speed HDMI cable. Again, I wanted it to be a fair battle and the same HDMI cable used on both televisions. Number three, I'm going to be comparing different games. We have a first-person game, we have a third-person game, we have a sports game, and we have a racing game. So that, we touch upon the different genres of games, and you get an understanding as to how these different genres of games looks on a mid-budget and a budget TV, both these televisions, that I'm about to compare. Now, with that said, let's get started, and kindly stick around till the end of the video to find out, if the Nokia actually holds up being a budget television when it comes to the gaming experience through the Xbox Series S. So let's get started, folks. Let's get this comparison started. And on the left, you have the Samsung AU9070 and the Nokia 4K television on the right. And straight off the bat, you can tell that the color reproduction on the Samsung AU9070 is comparatively better. Look at the detailing in the grass and look at that color differentiation, in the grass. And even when it comes to the objects in the background, I think they look a little washed out when it comes to the Nokia 4K television. Now, let me know your thoughts as well in the comments section. But look at those rocks in the far distance. I'm sure you can make out the difference that some of them are not even visible because of the way, the colors are getting reproduced. And it's not just on camera, by the way, folks. I can say the same thing, because I'm taking a look at it from right in front of the televisions. The contrast, I think, is really coming in and kicking in terms of the Nokia 4K television. And I think you can say that, in the shadows, in the detailing, in the foreground, here in this case, look at those tiles. I think you can make out a little more detail when it comes to the Nokia television in terms of the foreground and the walls as well, the stones there. But overall color reproduction, I think is comparatively better on the Samsung because the colors are more balanced and it looks comparatively better, I would say. And even the pink on that tree, I don't know if this video is doing justice to it or not, but I think overall the color reproduction is far better when it comes to this particular game called Titanfall 2, and I prefer the picture that I'm seeing on the Samsung AU9070. Now let's move over to the shadow of the Tomb Raider. Here, take a look at that fire and the illumination around the fire. Far better on the Samsung again. And the overall colors on the Samsung, it's just popping, you could say. Because look at Nokia 4K television. Now in this case, it's flat. There is not a lot of variation. It looks very muted. Also, there's a very warm tone to the overall color reproduction on the Nokia 4K televisions, especially when it comes to the shadow of the Tomb Raider. Everything looks green, everything looks yellowish and warmish, you could say. But on the Samsung, you can make out the difference in the different objects that are on your screen. Like the rocks have a different color. The grass and the plants, they have a different color. Even that tent, with that cloth on top, it has far more detailing and I can say that for sure, sitting right in front of the television, and everything looks vibrant. The colors are popping when it comes to the Samsung. Now motion, Samsung is comparatively better, way better. Of course, you have the benefit of having MEMC, which is missing on the Nokia 4K television. But I should mention and give Nokia credit that despite of not having MEMC, it's holding quite well. In terms of the motion, there is no ghosting, there is no artifacting. It's doing, you could say, a decent job. I mean, for the price, I am impressed. Now let's move over to this other colorful game, Forza, and just wanted to make sure that we're covering different genres of gaming. This is a racing game, and well, my camera, I think was a little too bright, so I thought, let me just reduce the brightness and take a look at it as well. But here's a little fun fact. Now, while I was not recording but editing this video, my kid came over to the screen, and he in fact preferred the color reproduction and the image which is out of the Nokia 4K TV. So I've reduced the brightness now. As you can see, the color of the sky, they're more or less the same, but the overall color reproduction, I still prefer your Samsung. I think there's a little more sharpness in the image when it comes to Nokia, and again, it's the sharpness in the foreground, and even the main character, which I would say in this case is the car, the Audi, and you can see more sharpness in the car if you notice that. So it definitely looks more detailed. Even the road, take a look at the road, on the tar, you could say, there's more detailing. And I think, the contrast on the Nokia television does a good job, I would say. This is your normal speed. This is not a slow motion video like the previous ones, but let's load the video down as well. And let's take a look at the motion. Now here is where the Samsung, I would say, has an upper hand, and it shows, especially if you're sitting personally in front of the television, you can clearly make out the difference. I'm not sure if the camera is able to do it justice, and if it will be able to pick out the difference, but I can say for sure, personally, the Samsung in terms of motion looks far better. But in terms of the overall sharpness, I think Nokia television is, especially for the items in the foreground, is doing a good job, and this is one great example of that. Take a look at the detailing in the grass on the Nokia 4K television here. I think you can make out, there's much more detail here on the Nokia 4K TV than the Samsung. Now, overall, again, the motion is fantastic on the Samsung, and I still prefer, the Samsung overall, because if you take a look at the background, the crowd, for instance, it looks far better on the Samsung television, far better. The color reproduction, it's solid. I mean, there's a lot of variation that you see on screen, different items have different colors, and that clearly is shown on the Samsung TV. Nokia, I would say, is more flatter, it's more warmer, but I should give Nokia credit as well, because it's a much cheaper television than your Samsung AU9070. Now, with that said, it does offer great value for money because it's doing a respectable job here. In fact, even in terms of the motion, without the MEMC, I would say it's decent. I'm not sure, what are your thoughts, but please do let me know in the comments section. I am impressed from the price to value ratio that the Nokia actually is offering here. But overall, again, the Samsung is a far superior product. It has better color reproduction and a better overall image. Well, that's it for today's video, folks. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you have understood the key differences, the pros and the cons of gaming on a budget television. In case you feel that I've missed out on something, then please feel free to reach out to me via the comment section. And in fact, I look forward to your comments after I post every single video of mine. So keep them coming. And I would love to be connected with you lovely folks through the comment section. Now, also, if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, well, please, it's free. Please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It definitely helps me with the YouTube algorithm. It also encourages me, it motivates me to put out more such video for all you lovely folks. So please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, kindly hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, that's a wrap for this one, folks. And until we meet again in the next video, this is me signing off. And I'd say take care, stay safe,
and may God bless you all.